piece of logworm, 2 red maggots, fish white. They're getting bigger and bigger, and I'm going to weigh this one. This must be well over 2 pounds. This one, maybe even sort of getting around about the 3 pound mark. It's an absolute clunker. Very good morning. Welcome to Fishing Tail Films. Something a little bit different today. I should have been out fishing this weekend. I got a delivery of lobworms in, some fresh maggots, a little bit of caster, and the plan was to do a bit of perch fishing this weekend, because I do love my perch fishing, as you know, and I know many of you that watch the Fishing Tail Films videos enjoy your perch fishing as well. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I'm I'm sort of in the process of doing this little angler's den up, so that I can demonstrate in more detail some of the rigs I'm using during my videos. So hopefully that'll work well, and it'll come across much better on video, on film, so that you can see properly what I'm using. Because I do get asked sort of what sort of tackle I'm using, what terminal tackle, and sometimes on the bank, especially when you're trying to catch fish as well, it's not always possible to show it in the detail that I want to show it. So I thought if I build this little angler's den, I can then do that in my leisure time, and then add it to the video. So hopefully that, fingers crossed, that'll work and come across well. Only time will tell. So not been out fishing this weekend, as many of us have not been able to. I've noticed a lot of fisheries have closed, and any matches that were going on have been cancelled, and some carp fisheries have closed as well, because I think I've just seen the news up to 90 mile an hour in some places, so that's pretty dangerous weather to be out fishing in, especially light trees and all that going around you. The last thing you want to do is be stuck out in the middle of nowhere and then a tree come down. Not good at all. So it's best to be on the safe side. So what I thought I'd do to try and bring some video content to the channel is to chat about perch. And I've had quite a few perch sessions this year in 2024, going back to the start of 2024, when I started filming and uploading some videos to the channel. And the first one I put up was, I uploaded it on the 19th of January. And the reason why I'm going through this is because there's some new subscribers to the channel. I don't think they've seen all the videos, so if I can, especially if you like your perch, and I can chat about some of the perch videos I've done, you may want to look back and have a look at them. And on the 19th of January I uploaded a video which I called What a Perch Session, and it really was a fantastic perch session. It was filmed way back in 2012, and I filmed it with a good friend of mine, Dave Phillips, and we went down to Framfield on a very cold and windy day on Spring Lake in February, and I was having a real good couple of months down there that year, catching numerous perch over 2 pound and quite a few low threes as well. So at the time I was working on a series called the Obsessed Angler DVD series. I think I produced about 13 videos, a baker's dozen, and obviously perch was going to be one of the DVDs that I was going to cover, and that's what we chose to do. Go to Framfield and film a DVD, and what a great session it was. I was really pleased. You know, sometimes things don't go to plan, but this one did. It was great, and it caught lots of perch. And so what I've done, I found all the filming files on my computer, and I created a I think it was a 20 odd minute video of it, and re-edited it, added a little bit of different music to it and stuff like that. And that video is starting to get some interaction now. It was a bit of a slow burner to start off with. I think it's where people are just discovering some of the videos. Some of them sit there and they don't move for a while, and then all of a sudden they start to get a bit of interaction, and it was a great day, it really was. So that's on there. What a perch session. And 22 minutes actually. I'm just looking down at some of my notes, and but the DVD version that I did was probably twice as long, and I think I've still got a couple of copies, 2 or 3 copies left. And in the new year I'm going to give some away as a prize. I'm going to do like a couple of little competitions, and free to enter, and that so that might be like subscribe to the channel unless you already have, and then I'll think of a little way, and I'll give a few of the perch DVDs out as free prizes. I'll send them off to people if they want to take part in it. So that's a really good video. And then that was followed up by I uploaded one on the 7th of Feb, and it was Furnace Brook perch get bigger and bigger. And I hadn't been to Furnace Brook, which is near Cow Beach in Sussex, for a few years, and I absolutely loved fishing down there, and it was like going back to visit an old friend, and it was absolutely brilliant. And the perch did actually start getting bigger and bigger. I started off with some smaller ones, and then they got bigger and bigger, and up to sort of big 2s. I think 212 was the biggest one I had. It was windy, it was overcast, wind was playing havoc with the mic at times. I had to put an umbrella up to try and get a little bit of coverage so I could, talk on film, and the umbrella was swinging around at times. But it was a really good session, and I really enjoyed it. And that's a 21-minute video, and that's on the obviously on the Fishing Tail Films website. So that was 7th of Feb. I uploaded that one, so that's probably worth a watch if you enjoy your perch fishing. And then that was followed by about a couple of weeks later. I went up to Hoardle Lakes with 2 of my fishing friends, Keith and Rue, and I called that one Ambush Island Provides the Perch at Hoardle Lakes. So we went on a 3-day trip. First day I went on my own, and then on the second day Keith joined me, and then on the third day Rue come down, and there was the 3 of us on the Saturday. It was like I say, it was like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday I fished, and we didn't know it at the time, but that was the last time that myself and Rue got to fish with Keith, because he sadly passed away after a very short illness in April, and not quite got over that yet. It's still such a shock to lose Keith that quickly, and he was all right 1 minute, and then boom, rang me up, told me that he had a bit of a turn, and then sadly it sort of went downhill from then, and then he passed away peacefully in his sleep. So that was a very sad occasion, obviously, and that was will always be a memorable video for me to sort of film Keith, and he caught a perch, and you'll see him with his perch. Actually, funny enough, didn't realise it at the time. It was only when I started editing it, and I messaged Keith and I said, "You won't believe it, Keith, but the perch you caught was the same perch I caught the day before, only it was 1 ounce lighter than I think it was £1.10 when he had it. It was £1.09 when I caught it." So obviously it must have held on to a couple of them prawns that I'd fed it the day before. So we had a bit of a laugh about that. But yeah, it just shows you out of all the perch that are in the lake. I caught it one day and then Keith caught it from a different swim the second day. It just shows you that fish do move around. So that was on the 21st of February, and then on the 9th of March I uploaded another video called Perch Fishing at Britford on the River Hampshire Avon, and I filmed that back in 2019, and again I found that all that info on my computer files, and I made I think a 34-minute video. Incidentally, the Hordle Lakes video is 42 minutes long, and so the perch fishing on the Hampshire Avon is 34 minutes, and so I go around the river, and there was like a little bit of a backwater, there's like carriers as well, and I found a few small perch in there, but a beautiful place, and made for a really nice video, so I was quite pleased with that. And although that was 2019, that was, like I say, uploaded on the 9th of March. And so the next video that I uploaded for the perch was on the 16th of March, and I went back to Fishbrook. Spring was starting to show signs of arriving. Where I'd been in February, it was, you know, really muddy, and in fact it was muddy on this day. The swim I'd fished previously was well churned up. We'd had a bucket load of rain had come down 1 or 2 days leading up to this fishing trip, and it was like a mud bath. It really was. It would have been the kind of conditions that pigs like, you know, rolling around in the mud. Got churned up a bit, so I moved up to the next swim. It's a bit more firmer there, and I fished that. The rudd were ravenous on that day. They were taking big old prawns, they were taking big lobworms. They would not leave my baits alone, and I was trying to feed them off. I was flicking out maggots, and but eventually I found a couple of nice perch. Lovely looking fish that they were as well. So that video is 21 minutes long, and I enjoyed that. But that then was my final perch session of like the back end of last winter, and so, and then obviously the other videos that have come on from there are all different tench and roach and chub, a few river videos and other lakes. So there's other videos on there, and then my last 2 videos that I filmed were perch videos, although the perch were a bit scarce, to be honest. I was fishing a river section that I'd had small perch out before, but I hadn't really fished it properly for the perch, so I went with big lobworms, and I think I had a nice chub out during that session, but the perch was scarce. But it was called Perch Bobbers and Lobworms. It was a 40-odd minute video, and I sort of chatted about my perch memories, and really pleased with that video, because I've been trying to always like to set myself targets. I was trying to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and it was that video that really took off. You know, I was really pleased, and it pushed me over the 2,000 subscribers mark, and I'm sort of about 300 now past that target. So I'm going to set myself a new target for the start of next year, for the end of 2025, because I just like to have a goal, because it drives me on, not only with me fishing but also with trying to build up the Fishing Tale Films website as well. And so that was a really good video. I hadn't been well leading up to that, and I had a bit of car trouble as well, so it was good to be back out on the bank fishing again. Like, as we all know, if you ain't been out for a while, you're raring to go, you just want to get out on the bank, but you just don't feel quite right, especially if you've got a long walk and got to go through 4 or 5 gates to do a bit of fishing. So I had to make sure I was fully, well, half fit anyway. I wouldn't say I was fully fit, but half fit. And like I say, I was really pleased with that. I'd like to thank everyone that has subscribed and supported the channel over the last 2-3 years, when I started picking up the channel again, because I'd left it dormant for about 8 or 9 years, which I regret. I wish I'd carried on with it. It's just that I got too busy doing other stuff, but now I've making time to concentrate on the channel, and it will then continue now. And the more people that subscribe to the channel, then the more fishing content I will be making. I like to fish for all species, but at certain times of the year, winter, I do like my perch, roach and chub fishing, especially the perch. And then the last video that I put up a couple of weeks ago was a fishery with a difference, which a great fishery as well, I've called it. And that was down at Windwhistle. I went down there with my son-in-law Andy. You may have already seen it. Great facilities down there. We've got some big old perch in there. But it was the first. I booked it up about 3 months earlier, and cannot believe that the first cold snap arrived as we arrived, basically. And it was actually sort of sleeting, snow, when we were setting up. And not that bothers me, because as a young boy, I remember when I used to live in Forest Gate in East London, when I used to go to Wanstead Park and catch loads of perch there. It was a 4-mile walk across Wanstead Flats, cut off down the side roads down Dover Road, and that would lead out to the boating lake. And me and my mate have walked there in snow when it was that thick on the ground, and we wanted a fish, and provided that the lake weren't iced up, and luckily it wasn't, we done some fishing in the snow. We were that obsessed with wetting a line, and I've always been ever since. Sometimes I'm a little bit more, as you get older, you get a bit wiser, and you have to kick yourself out of bed sometimes if it is snowing, because you have to be careful as well, make sure you can get from A to B safely enough. But anyway, back to Windwhistle. We stayed in the shepherd's hut, and it was a real fantastic place to fish, and we're going to be going back early in the new year. They so friendly, made us welcome very much, and food was great, everything was great, but we just couldn't find those perch, and that was more down, I think, to the conditions. The water was really clear around the edges, and when I was lower the prawling or the lobworm, you could watch it go all the way down to the bottom, and you could obviously see the lobworm wriggling about a bit, and you could just see the prawn sitting there. So the conditions were quite tough, but it introduced me to the venue, and I think I've got a few ideas where possibly the perch could be hanging out, because I've never been there before, never fished it before, and they got a nice stretch of the River Blackwater that I wish I took my river gear with me, because I would have given that a go as well. But that's for next time. And sometimes you have to visit a fishery first to find out a bit more about it. You can do all the research on the internet and on fishery websites, but it's not until you actually go to a fishery that you then really it all fits in, because you always imagine fisheries being something slightly different, don't you, than what they are. But anyway, that was that. I've got some more perch videos coming up because I've had a few messages. When's your next perch video? Well, it should have been this weekend. Hopefully I might get out next weekend, all being well, especially because I've got some bait. But my main perch fishing has always been January to sort of March time, and if we get a late spring, which sometimes we do because our weather's all over the place, that can creep into April. But as soon as it starts getting a bit warm and the carp start getting active again, then all I'm doing is feeding carp prawns and lobworms, which I don't really want to do. It's bad enough sometimes in the winter when it happens. So yeah, I've got lots more coming up. There's a new venue, a new club I've joined, and which I won't be able to name where I am because it's happening quite a lot now. A lot of clubs and venues. Not all of them, but some of them don't want location named. Stuff like that, which you have to respect. Otherwise, I won't be allowed to fish there. So if I never mention where I am, then there's a reason for it, because I've been asked not to, so I won't. And if anyone asks me where I'm fishing and I haven't mentioned it in the video, then I won't. I just can't say where I am. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm sure you understand. So there you go. So hopefully you enjoy some of the footage that's gone with this video of some of the catches that I've had over this year, and next year, or this season still, my target is to get a £4 plus perch, which will set a new PB for me. Something I'm really desperate to do, and I'm going to try. So there you go. So if you've enjoyed this little video, this little catch-up video, and enjoyed some of the footage, and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, because there's lots more coming up, and it spurs me on, and it also tells YouTube to, when they see lots of interaction going on the videos and likes and subscribers and all that, then they push the videos out there more. So if you could help me do that, I'll be very much appreciated. And to all those that have subscribed to the channel so far, thank you very much. It really does mean a lot, and I'll see you back out on the bankside very, very soon. See you again soon.